Hey, just the tip fam. Afternoon. Make sure my mic on, and it is. So happy Sunday to everyone. Welcome to Just the Tip in season 3, and we are now at episode 6. So thank you to everyone that has tuned in thus far this season to join the dialogue for discussing what's been going on. So today, let's kind of jump into what we're discussing as we wait for our other panelists to join us. Children. That's the basis of today. Children are not born blank. They are actually born full of brilliance. They are blueprints of possibility and little sketches of legacy, if you will. They're like the drafts of futures we may never possibly see, but we are definitely responsible for shaping. So today's conversation is going to be centered around raising the next generation with purpose, which comes at a very opportune time, especially given that I have teenagers in the household, and yeah, we're dealing with them becoming young men and learning how to come into themselves. So we are waiting for everyone else to join us. Give me 1 second while I get some of them added in here. Hey, good afternoon. How are you today?
Blessed and highly favored.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So how's your week been?
Productive, making it happen. Making it happen, Captain.
All right, all right. Let's see who else we got joining us. Give us just a second, everybody.
I love the beginning soliloquy, bring us in on the right
thank
note.
you. Thank you.
Hold on. Wait a minute, too. What you doing?
Yo.
Hold on. I got my hoodie, too. What you talking?
Yo.
Yeah.
I'm at the home.
So how was your week this week, son?
Busy.
Oh, that adult life shit.
Well, that shit sucks. You
Man,
remember when you told me you brought me in this world, you can take me out of that shit?
I know you ain't ready to be taken out.
Hey, you know what I was saying? You know what I was saying though the other day? I was
What's
like,
that?
remember how Mama used to say, "Boy, I'm gonna slap you in the next week." I'm like, man, I sure could use that paycheck right now.
Yep.
That part. Lord have mercy, man. This inflation, I swear, is at an all-time high.
I'm like, sure, I'll take that slap right now.
So, all right, y'all. But before we actually jump into today's conversation, and I might have to cut this microphone off because I'm hearing feedback. Do y'all hear the feedback?
Yeah, I hear a little feedback.
All right, give me a second. Hold on. All right, can y'all hear me? All right. Did one of y'all say something real quick?
Yo.
All right, bit. Good. Okay, so yeah, before we jump into today's conversation, I got a breaking news email while I was waiting to start this episode. Yeah, did y'all hear about that whole Mexico thing about the cartel leader?
No.
Yeah, so apparently anybody that's in Mexico right now from the US is being told to shelter in place because the cartel leader was apparently killed.
Well.
Yeah.
Hold on, the cartel who?
Leader. Yeah.
By who?
I didn't click on the thing to say that, to go any more details about it, but yeah, I got that like about an hour ago, I think. Yeah.
You think that boy Trump sent somebody up in there?
Man, I don't even much know, but shit was already real for the Americans. Not, man, all I gotta say to them folks is it wasn't us.
I can do it. Yeah.
I ain't got to do with it. So that there you go, Darius. Man, how much more real this shit gonna get, man? Like this is crazy. Okay,
All I can say is y'all better stay on.
man, if you ain't got a passport, go get one because getting the rule about here is looking more and more appealing right now. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and jump into today's conversation. Um, y'all know what we're talking about today, right?
Yes.
Darius,
No.
these youngins. I know, right? Right. Man. So today we are talking about raising the next generation, which you son will be a part of, raising them with purpose. Not an easy plight at all. But let's go ahead and get into this conversation. So I guess we can start off with the generational differences. So Darius, I want to center this part of the conversation on you. How do you feel about the generational differences? Like, where do you see everybody falling?
Everybody's
Some
pussified. Nobody gets their ass whooped anymore.
okay, so basically you're saying my generation is too soft. Is that what
Yeah.
you're saying?
Yeah.
Man, I'm gonna let you give him the reactions to that. I'm gonna let you go ahead.
No, I mean I get where he coming from.
Uh-huh.
But I want you to get. I want you to. I want. I'm gonna kind of get you to the psychology of it, though. Okay, because you gotta understand, when we came up. You know what I'm saying? Your teacher whooped your butt, then your grandma whooped your butt, then your mom whooped your butt, and then your dad whooped your butt. And if you know what I'm saying, any neighbors along that journey might have whooped your butt. Everybody got a piece of your behind. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, right. And so,
Yeah.
depending on how severe or how that really was for you, you might have said, okay, when I have kids, I'm not gonna do that.
Mhm.
So then you go to, I ain't gonna whoop my kids, or I'm just gonna put them in timeout or something like that. And so you got to understand, each generation says, I'm gonna try to do better than the last generation. Now there was some benefits to that because when you got your behind whooped, for some folks you ain't do that no more. Some it just think I don't they just love punishment. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm trying to say is I think the psychology behind that is experiencing that as a kid, you say, I don't want my kids to go through that. Let me know if I'm wrong on that.
What
That's
I
Um,
something.
don't.
I don't necessarily think you're wrong. I think it just comes more from the background that you were raised within. Because I know for me, you can ask Darius. I don't mind whooping ass. He kind of feels like I'm too soft on my younger ones, but honestly, just because I'm motherfucking tired. I done whooped so much ass already. I'm motherfucking tired. Like for real. So
Yeah, but like even shit like, for example, one of them stuck to the iPad. You can't even get him to go outside. I was shit. Let me be in the house on the weekend.
Yeah, that's also another generational difference. So this question has a
y'all keep the
lot of
conversation going. I'm gonna mute for 1 second. Y'all, I'll be
yeah,
right back.
yeah. So this has a lot of context and nuance to it. You feel what I'm saying? Because we didn't have devices like that coming up. Yeah, we had the Game Boy or
But
whatever.
I did though. Like every well, yeah. I mean, every game system I could ask for, I got. even like Nintendo DS and then like the Super Nintendo and shit like that, the Game Boy Advance and shit like that. Even when portable play game systems were, but like before it was a big like the Game Boy Advance, I had those and shit and everything too. But I was still outside. Like I can remember
That's,
bike adventures I went on. Like every time I went to the basketball court, all that shit.
so, but that's what I'm about to get at. That wasn't your main source of entertainment. You feel what I'm saying? Like, think about the kids that are born now and maybe the last 10 years or so, 10, 15 years. All they know from the time they was a baby was a tablet or a phone in their face. You feel what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So there was no a mixture of both. It's just a straight put it on YouTube, let YouTube teach them. You know what I'm saying? So now it's just kind of like growing up, we would have kids that would suck on their thumb a lot. And that, am I right? So
Yes.
they grow up with their mouth like this for all day, right? So then you go from that to now we just put a tablet in their face. And so now you forever putting a pacifier in someone's mouth in the form of a tablet. You don't you can't sit still here.
Yeah.
You can't calm down here. Being too loud here.
Yeah.
And so
I
that
do
became a
have to.
pacifier. Yeah.
I do have to admit, parenting has gotten lackadaisical. I guess is the best way for me to put it. Y'all give me a second. I'm sorry. My teenager is driving me up the wall today.
Oh
Y'all
shit.
keep the conversation going. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no.
Shit.
So um that I think those are the main differences when you start thinking about technology versus kind of not having as much access to technology like that to having 100% access to technology. I would challenge you. I would probably move the conversation along and say, what exposure, what our kids are probably exposed to now at a younger age versus when we were coming up, it was kind of we were exposed to stuff, but we were exposed a little later in life.
Yeah. Because we
So
didn't have that technology wasn't really available for us like it is for them now.
I mean, to an extent. I mean, I experienced a lot of shit at a young age that people experience at a young age due to internet. I just experienced it in real life.
let me tell you, let me tell you my age for a moment. When we was coming up, if you saw a commercial about a period, that was like, what? We just talking about a normal thing for a woman to have a period, right? If you saw a commercial about, and it was just like a little red dot or something, or whatever the color going across the screen or whatever the case, it wasn't even so, you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you're talking about being normalized having HIV like it ain't it. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, you got herpes now, ain't no big deal. Just take this medicine or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Look, these is on TV, regular commercials. So
Yeah.
this is what I'm saying. Like, think about a kid being in a room. It's just normal to have HIV or herpes or something. That was a nuance for us. Man, we
Hmm.
seen Magic Johnson say he got HIV. Oh, he about to die.
Hey, that's another Dr. Sebi conversation though.
You,
So y'all know I'm gonna do my research and all that on certain things before we jump into some of these conversations. So I was curious about the different nuances between the generations. So we have Gen X, which some people don't know, that's like 1965 to 1980, that era. So their strengths are independent, resilient, resourceful. Their challenges, they're often raised without emotional language, which is very true. That's very true. What they need from us is respect for their experience and space to lead. 100% agree with that. 100%.
move. Get out the way. Oh, okay.
Then we have the millennials, which spans from 81 to about, late 90s, 96, somewhere around there. That's me. So strengths are collaborative, purpose driven, tech adaptive. 100% agree. Challenges are burnout and economic instability. Also 100% agree. What we need from everybody is validation. Don't agree with that. But I guess to a point, validation and mentorship opportunities. Heavy on the mentorship opportunities.
Like, share, and subscribe. Okay.
That part. After millennials, we got Gen Z, which you would be, Darius. That's about 1997 through like 2012. Y'all strengths: creative, socially conscious, emotionally aware. The challenges: anxiety, heavy on the anxiety, and information overload. Heavy on the information overload due to the internet stuff. What y'all need from everybody is guidance, heavy on the guidance, boundaries,
Oh.
faith,
Um,
autonomy. So,
um,
all right, let's get to the Gen Alphas, which is 2013 to now. Their strengths are tech native, curious, expressive. Yeah, I definitely got to agree with all of that. Their challenges: short attention span.
My God. Hashtag TikTok.
Hold on,
Okay.
even better: overstimulation.
Overstimulated. Oh, there's too much dopamine hits. Dopamine overload.
What they need from us: structure, emotional modeling, exposure. So
Can
I
I add
agree,
something? Can I add something?
of course.
So I'm technically Gen X, right?
Uh-huh.
But because I was born at the tail end of Gen X, right before the beginning of millennial, I like to call myself an exennial.
Okay. Okay.
I'm a hybrid between both of those generations. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Carry
Yeah.
on. Carry
I
on.
mean, you were born so late into it, it's quite possible.
Yeah, I really was born in December of '80. So
Yeah. And see, I was born at the very beginning that it could be quite possible for me to have, that mixture as well.
but see,
So,
to capitalize on that part, I mean, shit. I was born this way, but I was raised another way.
mm-hmm.
so you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I kind of I've experienced both worlds. Anyway, I didn't want to
Same,
get off
same.
track. Yeah.
What I've loved thus far about raising a Gen Zer is the fact that it was easier to get them to comprehend and not so much adapt to how the previous generations were raised and some of the values and morals that they had, but they took more to our direction and our guidance and understood more of, look, homie, I done been there and done that already. You ain't telling me nothing I don't already know. They took heed a little bit better than what these Gen Alphas do. So that's one thing I've really liked about raising a Gen Z. These Gen Alphas, it's a Gen Alpha walking by right now.
Oh my God.
That's a Gen Alpha right there. And he is a pure Gen Alpha.
Is that my boy Say?
Are you leaving? Yeah. Okay, well, bye, son. I love you. See what I mean? See. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I got a
So,
couple of those.
yeah.
Now, see, if that was me, on the other hand, first of all, I would have already been outside. You wouldn't have seen me by then. Second of all, if I go and I'm not announced like that, I'm getting shit. Okay.
There, let me ask you a question. There's you're the oldest, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I get it, man. Let me tell you something. The oldest usually gets the rough end of the stick because we don't as parents. You don't know what you're doing.
No,
You know
but
what
at the
I'm
same
saying?
time,
No,
like
no,
I'm
listen,
not, even though I talk that, even though I'm talking, I wasn't. I'm not saying
no,
like
no, no, no.
I was
I just
spoiled.
want you to,
Like my food
hear my,
touched, I ain't want the whole plate.
I just want you to hear my heart for a second, and for anybody else that is on that's watching, your first time being a parent, you don't know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? You really don't. There's no. I don't care what. I don't care if they write a book or whatever, because each person is different, right? So you don't really know what you're doing, and
Oh
so a
yeah,
lot
I
of
mean, it's my mom
mistakes
that would
are
do
made
everything.
by the first child, and you get better as you go if you continue to keep going. Amen. So just want you to know that that's just from a heart from one parent, and to any other parents out there. We get it. You gonna know. You gonna learn one day. You gonna find out. Your time come. Keep waking up saying good morning.
Now that we have identified, the differences in these generations, now comes the question when it comes to raising the next generation with purpose. How do we bridge all these gaps? Because right now we're living in a time where each and every one of those generations that we touched on, that they exist, that's what's out here raising the next generation right now. So we have to figure out how we build these or bridge these gaps between all these differences, because from what I read, there's some major differences. So now that's leading to a lot of what we see going on out there with the disconnect from one generation to the next. Because I'm gonna be real, and I don't mean to offend anybody that's listening, watching, whatever, but the Gen Alphas or Alphas,
Oh, first.
they're a different breed. That's the best way for me to put it. They are definitely a different breed. Like that one that just walked out, I could tell him something, and it's gonna go through one ear and out the other. Like I never even said it, but a stranger can come and tell him the same exact thing in the same way that I said it. And oh my God, light bulb. That's me and you. Like that is damn near every single Gen Alpha that I know. Do y'all agree with that, or is it just me?
That's true. But you got
So
now. You just have to learn how to speak their language. So, for instance, what I'll do is I'll send a TikTok that says the exact same thing that I'm saying. I'll say it and then I'll back it up with a TikTok. Listen, I gotta listen. Let me tell you something. I may not be faster than the next man. I may not be smarter than well, but I'll outsmart you somehow. I'm not gonna let my kids outsmart me. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So you just speak their language. Okay. So like for instance, if we were coming up, we looked up to what we call what celebrities. Now your celebrities are YouTubers. You know what I'm saying? Amen.
it's true. This is true.
Amen. Let me tell you something. I got a chance to meet a YouTuber out of Houston named Dillion. Dilly John? I don't know. I don't know.
I'll get
Anyway,
started.
this dude, he was like a young dude, about 22, 23, whatever, right? And I sent the message. I was with him, had him record an encouraging message for my son. Meant the world to him. All I'm saying is we got to speak their language. And we got to kind of tap in and see what they're looking at, what they watching, what they listening to, things like that. We just got to tap in. So,
I
and that's being
honestly,
intentional.
I don't think, like in my case, and I want to be the advocate for other single mothers out there. I don't think I can't tap into what he's tapping into. I think it's more so he's at that age where mama don't know. He think mama don't know.
Yeah.
Mama is ignorant to the fact, or something like that. Because I ain't gonna lie, he is boy number 3 for me. So he thinks that I don't know, but like Darius will try to tell him, bro, it ain't nothing you can't do. Then mama don't already know. Because we didn't put her through that shit already. But that doesn't resonate with him. He still got that teenage brain.
I got you.
So that's what we have to find ways to combat.
I'm sure I put mama through some shit.
That you have. That you have. I'm surprised I don't have more grades than what I have today, but that's another topic. But I think it comes to a point of emotional intelligence, and as we always say, there's levels to this shit. And I think their emotional intelligence, due to technology, not to offend anybody, has been dumbed down. And because the three of us on here didn't really come from an age where technology was just that prevalent, we don't know how to dumb it down. So I think that's where a lot of the disconnect is coming, and we got to figure out how to guide our children. Me personally, I don't think getting on their level of technology is the proper way to guide them. I really don't, because number one, can't believe everything you see out there. That's number one.
Shit, especially now, everything. Like, my TikTok is all AI generated videos. I'm like, damn, this shit look real.
Yeah. Yeah. Just like I saw one the other day of Tupac going off. And I'm like, man, if y'all don't leave my boy alone, leave
I
him
got a
alone.
whole album on my Apple Music of AI generated songs. And I'm like, yep, they're cooked.
Yeah. Yeah. And I really think that, unfortunately, I know technology ain't going nowhere, but we really got to find a way to balance it, and figure out how to guide our children both with and without it. Because I think that's what's missing, guiding them without it.
Yeah, that's yeah. Sometimes you gotta. Let me tell you. Well, I mean, for me, so if you don't know, I do some bounce houses and stuff, right? I have a bounce
Mhm.
house business, and so it sprung into a business not on purpose, really by accident. I had got one. I got one from helping someone move, and I cleaned it up. And was my only goal to have that one was to get my son off the tablet, go touch grass, take your butt outside. So what started off as just me making my son get outside and do something outside, and then turn into a business or whatever. But the point I'm trying to make is, you're right. You do have to have a balance. You got to go touch the grass. You got to go do something. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
you got to get
And
outside.
yeah, you have to unplug. You can't stay in the matrix.
Mhm.
You got to
Yeah.
unplug.
I mean,
And
shit. Nowadays, I mean, especially to capitalize on that touch and aggression, I used to have real bad asthma.
yeah, I
Shit.
mean, I do also agree with the fact that our generations have
Shout out to
become.
Thad. What up, boy?
What happened?
Oh, I was just shouting out Thad. What up?
Oh,
What
oh.
up, Thad? Anyway, sorry.
I do believe that our generations have gotten a little lazy when it comes to the involvement, when it comes to the discipline. Just that quality time has diminished over the time of raising children. And I think that's something that needs to change, but that's also kind of hard to do because one, there's so many broken homes now. So we have to balance that time between these broken homes, which is extremely hard. Two, the demands of employment have become that much more. You know, we at work more than we at home now. And that makes things hard. I mean, thankfully, some people are able to work from home, but and I'm one of those people. But it's still difficult because I know one thing my kids don't understand is just because I work from home don't mean I don't work. You know, so
when I'm working, you got to understand that I'm working. I can't just stop and go run and bring you lunch at school or go pick you up from practice simply because that's what you want at that
Bring you
time.
lunch to school? What? Oh, sorry.
Yep.
What I
Yeah.
mean? Listen,
Yeah.
hold on, man. I remember the third grade. My classmates used to be hella jealous because my mom would always drop me off some Kellys at the principal's office. Yeah,
Kelly's.
Kellys.
Man, y'all living high on the hog, boy. God.
You see what I mean?
Man, my kids spoiled. Them motherfuckers there, they spoiled.
Like, don't get it twisted. Like, that's why I say, even though it was like that, I was still spoiled as shit. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can still have that bond, but also have that discipline as well. But people don't understand. People don't understand that anymore. Don't get me. Like, I had anything I could ask for, but also had that discipline as well.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
not
so
putting your foot up
I,
your ass.
I think that, I think that, we, a lot of times I'll see parents kind of talk at their kids instead of talk to them. Um, and I think if we talk more to our kids, I think we'll kind of get better outcomes in that way. And, I'm not afraid to tell my kids like, hey, you know, yeah, me and your mom were just having a good old time, you know what I'm saying? And you're a result of that. But don't mean we don't love you. This is what it was. Right now, I got boys in my house, all boys, right? And
Yeah.
so, well, boys, young men, I got young men in my house. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I got to keep it real with them. I got to let them know, hey, you got to protect your seed. You got to protect your signature. Don't put your name on everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Protect your seed. Don't be spreading yourself around like that. And sometimes I just got to get raw with them and say, don't let your make you a slave. You can fill in the blank.
That part.
Because can make you a slave.
It
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You don't want to be 50, 60, 70 years old still paying child support because it will make you a slave.
I
And
think.
I'm telling from, you know, now I had someone that was older than me at the time and said, hey man, I'm gonna tell you like this, if you don't pay that child support, you don't get that over with or whatever the case. And I respect that person enough to go ahead and just say, let me go ahead and do that. And I wasn't finna duck. I wasn't finna duck responsibility. But I had some people that pour into me. You know what I'm saying? So it didn't come from my mom, but you have good mentors in your life, or you need to introduce kids to mentors that they can kind of partner with or whatever the case. Even if it's just a quarterly check-in every 3 months or whatever the case. And I think that's living with intention, living on purpose, and allow our kids to fail in controlled environments.
I think the number one thing to add to that is a lot of us have tried to become our child's friend instead of being their parent. You can't you can't be their friend. Like
Oh
you're not supposed to be their friend. That's not what parenting is. I mean, yes, you and your child can have a connection and have a relationship. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But you ain't meant to be their motherfucking friend.
man, there's some good teaching on that. Man, there's some good teaching. Like this, I had my pastor taught on this, and it was like the stages of parental, parenting or whatever. So there is a level of friendship toward the end.
Yeah.
In the beginning and stuff. No, no, mind you, when I said toward the end, you know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
that's definitely true.
No,
And Darius can even attest to that
and,
because I mean he knows I would put my foot in his ass when he was younger and I
and
didn't
there's
give
some
no damn about
boundaries,
it.
and there's some boundaries too. Let me
With
be clear.
that, she hit me with that. This hurts me more than it hurts you speech.
Say
The
what
what
now?
now? The destiny what?
I said she'll hit me with that. This hurts me more than it hurts you speech.
Oh, okay. I think that there's definitely some boundaries that need to happen too. Uh, my daughter's 22. I'm not going to go out and have a drink with her. Matter of fact, I'm not going to the same club that she would go. Not saying she go to clubs, but if she was to go to a club, I'm not going to go to the same night spot with her. Amen.
I mean, my older kids, I drink with them. I will have some drinks with them.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that I won't either. I'm just saying that I'm not going to just go out and just be, you know what I'm saying? And then, like, for instance, I've seen mother daughters. Y'all shouldn't be competing for the same man.
I see that's a whole nother episode. That one there, yeah, that's a whole nother episode.
Father son shouldn't be chasing after the same woman.
Yeah,
I'll digress. I'll digress.
Nah, but you right. There does have to be boundaries because these kids running around here really thinking they run shit. Really thinking
Yeah,
they
I
grown.
mean, some things need to just go back to listen. Some dudes need to quit trying to chase and go get under the hood of a truck or something. You know what I'm saying?
That part.
Go fix something. Go make something. Paint something. You see what I'm saying?
That part.
Oh.
Now, we've talked about, the disconnects and all that. Another big aspect of raising the next generation with purpose has to focus on financial literacy, which is a huge missing piece of the puzzle for each and every one of the generations we talked about earlier. A huge missing piece of the puzzle. And I think we talked about in one of the earlier episodes of sharing the knowledge to spread that wealth of knowledge. Financial literacy is something that's a knowledge that's not being shared.
That crosses race, creed, ethnicity. Doesn't matter. Listen. Our nation is trillions of dollars in debt. It ain't so. It ain't like we're not talking to a certain demographic. We talking to everybody. Anyway,
That
I'm
part
sorry.
right
I'll digress.
there is gonna have to start with self. If you are somebody that's just day to day living when it comes to finances, that's a mindset that has to be changed. It's, oh Lord, especially with how the economy is right now. Like, we gotta change our ways of thinking in that. As we've said in earlier episodes this season, we won't get anywhere. Like, we don't have a purpose if we can't at least start to control our finances. We're always going to be sitting there going under 1 to 2 times before we drown, and there's nobody around to save us. Like, that financial literacy has to be there. So we have that. And then other things that come along in raising with purpose is education, exposure to community resources, and the understanding that community actually exists. It's a real thing, but we have to learn and know how to take advantage of community. And I think another big key factor, mentorship. That is something that is going by the wayside. Give me a second, y'all, because my dog is barking. Give me a minute.
Bet.
All right. Sorry, y'all. So now that we talk about mentorship, how do we get exposure to that? What can we do for our kids? What does that look like for our kids? Because it's falling by the wayside. Give me 1 second, y'all. All right.
Hold
Hold on, I'm adding Octavius back in because he dropped off.
on. Also,
Sorry, y'all.
we asked if you could repeat the question.
Mentorship is a key factor in raising the next generation with purpose because, after all, it takes a village. how do we incorporate their village? Like, how do we get back to that? What does that look like? You know, how do we get our kids exposure to that? Because right now they don't have exposure to it. Their village is TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram.
Well, all right. So TikTok is kind of weird because I do use TikTok as a huge source of information due to the simple fact that it's not owned by the U.S., so it can't be filtered. You know what I mean?
I mean, I guess. Like, Service, how you feel about it?
Um,
I know, but
you said how do we get back to
It takes a village.
how we get back to the village? Well, first of all, I mean, it all starts with the mother and father. Typically things like that work better when both mother and father are together. Now, of course, that if that's not the case, then you make the best out of that situation. But meaning you shouldn't just know just your mom's side of the family. You shouldn't
Facts.
just know just your dad's side of the family. You see what I'm saying? You should
Facts.
know both sides of the family, right? And so I I think that it kind of starts there, right? Then from there, when you branch out, the teachers should be an extension of you. Your teacher's not your enemy. Right now, there's a mass exodus of teachers because the teacher can't even tell you nothing without you wanting to jump the teacher. I'll digress. Just saying. Uh, but the teacher should be an extension of the parent. Ain't nobody. The world ain't against you. The world, you know what I'm saying? Everybody not trying to take from you or scam you or whatever the case may be. Check your own heart. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
so then you have the teachers, right? And then if you put your kids in extracurricular activities, wait a minute, hashtag sports, karate, or something like that. Now you have coaches, you have senseis or people like that. You know what I'm saying? That
Hmm.
would help mentor the kids. And sports is always a great tool because you learn so many things that you will use in life. What everybody's not gonna be LeBron James or whatever, or Steph Curry or whatever, right? Everybody's
Uh-huh.
not gonna be CJ Stroud or nothing like that, but you still learn teamwork skills that you would use on the work in the workforce,
Let
etc.
me add to that real quick
Okay.
and say when putting your kids in an activity or sport, you got to make sure you are putting them under a true leadership and not just somebody that wants to win.
Ooh.
All right, you may continue.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I like that. I mean, you know, you definitely want to teach them excellence, right? So part of that leads to winning. But yeah, it's not all just about winning. Gotcha. I totally agree with that. And so that's how you start expanding that village. Uh, for those that go to like a church or a synagogue or mosque or something like that, that's another area where you can develop and grow your village and have mentorship, right? Through religion or something like that. Um, I mean, that's multitude of ways. You know what I'm saying? I mean, folk. I mean, they still got the Boys and Girls Club, right? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like,
So I
it's,
actually pulled a list of Houston-based Houston-based youth and family resources. So for education and exposure, we have the Houston Public Library System. And I mean, the Houston Public Library System they're all interconnected now. And there's always something going on, some kind of activity, for the youth and the adults as well.
for the free
Good
ski, huh?
networking.
For the
What's
free
that?
ski. For the free ski.
Exactly, exactly. You have the Houston Museum of African American Culture. You have the Ion Innovation District. You have the Children's Museum of Houston, who have free days every month, along with the Houston
Did
Zoo.
you say
And
free 99?
you just gotta, look it up. That's
Show
all
up.
you gotta do.
Ah.
For mentorship and leadership, we
So
have
you
the
don't have to
urban
have a high
enrichment.
income.
What's that?
So you don't have to have a large income.
Hell no.
Oh, you ain't got to make six figures.
Hell no. You just got to get up
Oh,
off your ass and go.
oh.
Yeah, yeah.
So then you're saying as a parent you got to get off the phone.
That part. That part. Yeah. So for mentorship and leadership, you have the Urban Enrichment Institute, which provides mentorship for young African American boys. You have the Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Houston. You have Project Row Houses, which is an arts-based youth mentorship. Um, I personally wouldn't advocate for this one, but they are a resource. Big Brothers Big Sisters program.
You say you wouldn't advocate?
No, I would not. And that's a whole nother story. But yeah, I've had my experiences with them.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
For community and cultural development, we have Emancipation Park Cultural Center. We have Shape Community Center. We have Young Women's College Preparatory Academy and Mickey Leland College Prep. These are all leadership focused, areas that expand in the cultural arts and youth empowerment and things of that nature. For family support and wellness, we have the Forge for Families, who provide parenting classes and youth programs if you feel you have a need for that. We have Montrose Center, which provides family support and mental health resources, heavy on the mental health resources. We have local YMCA branches, so there's a plethora of things where you don't need a lot of this to be able to expand your horizons and expose your child to opportunities and possibilities they otherwise wouldn't have sitting down looking at a damn screen.
Yeah, but Boys and Girls Clubs and YMCA ain't what they used to be.
It may not be what they used to be, but it's still a resource.
Yeah.
So,
That
I
shit
mean,
used
we
to be
got to
free
start
though.
taking advantage of these things to be able to break the cycles and start building that legacy. So, these are all ways that we can have legacy or build legacy beyond the money aspect, which is what this whole season has been about thus far. This is how we teach our children to lead with purpose and not pressure, which is just basically having that village, having that community, bringing back the notion of, am I my brother's keeper? Because yes, we are each other's keeper,
Right,
but we've gotten so far away from that. It's like we are on a battlefield of how do we get back to it? So
I wanted to say this. I heard you say they have parenting classes, right?
yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I think would be interesting to have like wives and husband classes,
Have
marriage
what?
class, a marriage type of class. You know,
Yeah, I agree.
you know, yeah, yes, you could. Yes, parenting classes are needed, but before you become a parent, technically, you should be what? I mean, it's more ideal, right? And so
Uh-huh.
I'm just, you know what I'm saying? So like, anyway, I just found that to be interesting. That should be something that maybe,
Should be a class for life.
I guess we got to be the change we want to see. I guess. Anyway.
Yeah, yeah. I heard somebody say something in the background. What was that?
Kayla said there should be a class for life.
Well,
Yeah.
I would love to see like in public schools that, I mean, they kind of gave us a generalization of how to balance a checkbook and all that type of stuff, but
They don't do that shit no more.
Sure,
yeah,
you ever
I
had a
don't even
class
say.
that taught me how to balance a checkbook or teach me how to file my taxes and all that shit, how to tie and all that shit?
The only time you'll learn those things if a teacher takes time out of their day to not do what they're told to do and teach it.
Yeah. That's got to be added into the curriculum.
I've had math teachers
That's
say,
true.
you know what, don't tell anybody, I'm telling you this now, but this is something you're not going to learn that I'm going to teach you. And that's how I
But the
learned
sad part is they don't have them kind of teachers like that no more. I mean, yes, there are still
Yeah,
some out there, but they're needles in a haystack.
yeah,
Educators is not what it used to be.
I'll never forget 7th grade. We had a teacher named Miss Matthew, and she was a black lady that from like I don't. She was from overseas,
Central.
like, but huh?
Central.
Yep.
Yep. I
Yep.
remember.
She used to. I remember her because she used to keep it real with us. But also she wore a low top one time and had hair on the chest. And I'm like, what is going on here? I ain't never seen that before. I ain't never seen a woman with hair on her chest. I was like,
Oh.
what?
Damn.
Anyway,
Damn.
she used to give us life hacks that was real, straight to the point, and she was just, but yeah,
Yo, man, I remember that from Miss Hollis. I,
okay.
I remember Miss Hollis used to keep it real with us, man. Like,
Miss Blunt?
yeah,
Yep.
yep. You don't really have teachers like that no more. I
You
mean,
know what's so crazy? Mr. Blunt, her husband, used to teach my Sunday school class.
man, if we going back like that, I could take it all the
Anyway,
way back to the Sandbox Elementary School, Coach
Mr. and Mrs.
Kennedy.
Hey
That's
So,
Darius,
my son.
Mr. and Mrs. Blunt. That was their real name too. For
yeah,
real.
yeah.
Right? Oh, hey, that the ID said Blunt.
Yeah. So, I mean, we starting to run out of time here, but I guess the moral of the story of today's conversation is
Make your kids go outside.
we got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Be more blunt.
That's the whole base. We got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable because we done got way too comfortable, and we are honestly doing the generations to follow a disjustice.
I mean, it's not only being comfortable. I mean, you got pussified. Like Kelly said, you got to be more blunt. Nobody tells the truth anymore. Be honest with your kids. I mean, let them know what it is. Stop lying to their face or painting this picture of what shit's not gonna be.
I ain't gonna never sugarcoat shit.
Here's what we not gonna do.
Yeah, sugarcoating now. No. We ain't gonna get nowhere like that. And this hold on. Fuck this gentle parenting bullshit. I'm sorry. Somebody has to say it.
Oh, wait a minute, God dang.
I've been saying that this whole
Who
night.
hurt you?
Can I get an amen? Yes. Nah, but for real though, like we too easy on these kids. We way too easy on these kids to where they really do think they can get away with anything until they end up in somebody's jail cell or in the ground. And I'm sorry, I would rather my kids bury me than the other way around. So no, we can't control how our story comes to an end, and tomorrow is never promised to anybody. But some of these stories are coming to an end way sooner than what they need to be.
Over dumb shit.
That part right there. And it's because we've lost the essence of village, of community. You know, we've gotten too complacent with letting the internet raise our kids. So if you yourself are not financially literate, get financially literate. Doesn't take a whole lot.
Yeah,
There
the
are
information is out
resources
there.
out there. What's that?
The information is definitely out there.
Yeah.
I know a great talk cast called Just the Tip. Every Sunday at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm just saying, like, share, and subscribe.
Bam. Nah, but for real though, you know, we Just a Tip was created on the basis of real people. You know, we are real people just like everybody else out there. And just like everybody, we all got knowledge to share. We all got a story to tell. But if we're not talking about it, if we're not spreading the wealth of knowledge, how are we gonna get anywhere? None of us can grow if we
Kaylee
don't
wants
sit
to
here and
challenge
talk and
everybody.
communicate. What you said, Darius?
Kaylee wants to challenge everybody.
What's up?
She challenges everybody. to
Well,
go.
first, hold on. Before we go there, Kaylee basically tunes in every week with us. So, Kaylee, how about you introduce yourself, sweetheart?
I guess I got changed.
Cam up, cam up.
Hi.
Hi, Kaylee. Go ahead, introduce yourself, honey.
I'm Darius's partner. Not fiance yet, unfortunately.
Oh,
But pretty
damn.
much am because we live together.
Shots fired.
Damn. How they say message?
Message.
But no, I think there should be a challenge of. I think you should start challenging people every podcast to do something associated with the message of the day. So
Okay.
you're talking mainly about community and changing the future and stuff and getting out of our comfort zone and getting off the phone. Well, then I feel we should challenge the people to at least go and learn who one of our neighbors are and start.
Ooh.
So you say the challenge
Like,
should
I don't
be
know
is
any of my
start
neighbors.
Hey,
start building the
hey,
And
community.
I gotta hit you with the.
like, I have a lot of anxiety and like social issues, but like we have some groups that I have on my Facebook for like if you're having issues and you need something, like need help, basically it's called like buy nothing or free everything, and you just post on there something you need, and it's all like no judgment, and it's just people who go out of their way to find that item you need and provide it. So like I needed to do, I think, laundry, and we had no detergent. Everything's dirty in the house. We have nothing to wear for work, and I needed to make sure we had laundry, and we had no money. So I went on there asking for laundry detergent, said, hey, I live across from the high school. I'm located in this town. This is embarrassing, but I need detergent. And I had a whole bunch of people on there kind of like making jokes and was like, well, use Dawn soap, like, blah, 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 blah. Well, I had one person message me directly asking if I lived in this apartment. And I was like, that's kind of weird. Yeah, I do. Why? And they were like, well, I live in this building and I can help you get detergent. And I was like, that's my building. And we kind of like talked a little bit. And I actually learned one of my neighbors, not a part of this half of the building, but the other half. And I mean, she's going through the same stuff we're going through. And like now I have someone that is another source of help in a way. And I would have never gotten that if I didn't grow the balls to ask for help and reach out.
And that also speaks to the fact that you never really know what another person is going through. So a little bit of kindness can go a long way, which brings me back to the notion: am I my brother's keeper?
Yeah, and let me give you a little tip. I've been in a situation like that before, and I've washed my clothes with what's the soap you use to wash your hands, and you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've used that, and came out all right to me. You know what I'm saying? It got. Hey, I'm just saying. I used it wasn't detergent, but it was a dish soap. It's the
Yeah.
liquid dish soap. If you got a little bit of that, put a little bit at the bottom. Put your clothes in there. I'm
I
trying
mean,
to tell
shit,
you something. We,
back in them hand washing days, I mean, it worked. But we are kind of running short on time this week. Y'all know I like to dabble with poetry and stuff like that. So I do have a final spoken word affirmation. It's not about perfection, it's about intention. Nothing about raising children to fit the world, but I'm sorry, not about raising children to fit the world, but raising children who will change it. Today, we plant seeds of identity, of wisdom, of purpose. And together, we are building the blueprint for the next generation. So, with the end of that, I actually was going to ask the audience to drop one action that they would take this week to pour into a child's purpose. Doesn't necessarily have to be your child, but a child, because remember, it takes a village. So, Did you fellas have any closing? Oh, by the way, thank you, Kelly. I appreciate your input. It is very well, received and valued. So we appreciate that. Um, did you gentlemen have any closing remarks that you wanted to say?
Only thing I can say is to be the change you want to see. We can talk about it, we can complain about it all day long, but only time you're gonna make change is if you take action, right? And so don't feel overwhelmed like you have to change the whole world. Just change your circle of influence.
You got to surround yourself with like-minded people to be the change that you want to see.
There you go.
Agreed. Darius, you got anything you want to close with?
Don't be afraid to ask for help.
Okay, all right. So we will not be having an episode next week. We will be on a little slight break. We will return on March 8th, and what we will be talking about in episode 7 is from pain to power and turning struggles into strategy. Yeah. So we thank everybody for joining us today, and for any other episodes that they have
You
watched.
gotta have Uncle Bobby tune in for that one.
What happened?
I want to call out Uncle Bobby to tune in for this one.
Oh, we having call outs. Okay, yeah. All right, got you. um, Don't forget to everybody out there, we do actually have our YouTube channel up and going. So if you have missed any of our episodes of season 3, please tune in to our Just the Tip YouTube channel and go ahead and catch up on those. If you missed anything from season 1 or season 2, please jump over to our Instagram page and you can view everything from those seasons there. Other than that, we thank everybody that has tuned in. And we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. And we will see y'all in 2 weeks.